many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box, I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah.
Peace and love. Welcome to the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. I'm Brother Frank, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition and also to advocate for the freedom of our U.S. held political prisoners. First and foremost, we want to just thank those who came out this past Saturday. It was very cold, but we were 25 strong. At least that's what I counted at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. We stood there for the time that we said we would stay there. We went live, but unfortunately, at some point, about 48 minutes into the live recording, the cell phone or the piece that we had to go live with decided that it was too cold for it to continue to function, and so it went dead. I know I did my part, and I made sure that it was charged at least more than 0.5%. It was at 70% when I checked it, but you know, it was extremely cold, and then my phone just went dead. So that's just a lesson learned, and we just got to get better at what we're doing. But a number of organizations that were out there, you had the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, of course. You had Holla, How Our Lives Link All Together. You had December 12th Movement, a human rights organization. They brought a couple of members and actually spoke. So that was right on. That was straight ahead. We appreciate that. Their continuous work and a continuous support with comrades who are out there doing the work. So peace and love to them. We also had the People's Senate, the brother Tag, he has spoke, always passionate, always to the point. We had Uhuru. They endorsed actually the work. So and then we had Jericho and RAP. And if I forgot any organization, please forgive me. I'm sorry. You know, I'm a human being. I have many errors, but you know, I'm still passionate about this work, and I'm here to do what needs to be done at this particular time that I have. Right? We all have, but so much time to do what we think we're supposed to be doing with the time that we've been given, been granted. But this past Saturday, it was some great work. Reverend Joy said that you had prisoners that were listening. They could hear our voice. They were in tears. They actually went by her cell and to hear her speak, because at one point we had her live speaking to us. She was very appreciative for the work that we was doing. I think that, you know, her being inside, being able to maneuver people on the outside says a lot about her character. The consistency in which she demands us to be out here and advocating for her to be free. I think that, you know, we wouldn't be doing that if she wasn't somebody worth doing it for. So when we talk about Rev Joy and we talk about her being free, let us understand that she is a political prisoner. She was out there fighting for her people's right to self-determination, the right to control our own destiny. So we can't forget about her sacrifices and her commitment. And we do that in practice and deeds. We do that being out there, continuing to organize. For those who are interested in who Joy Powell is and they want to get to know her a bit more, the information is right here. Please write to her. Have your own relationship with Joy. Ask Joy yourself, what can you do? How can you help? That you heard her story on the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition show, and you want to do your part to help her come home, right? So for those who don't have the address is right, Reverend Joy Powell. Her number is 07G0632, Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, P.O. Box 1000, Bedford Hills, New York 10507 2499. Again, that's Reverend Joy Powell, 07G0632, Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, P.O. Box 1000, Bedford Hills, New York 10507 2499. So today is the day. Well, today is the day after Leonard Peltier came home. He came home to his people. Leonard Peltier, a member of the American Indigenous Movement. And I think that for him to come home after all these time, yes, is a victory, but it's also upsetting because this brother, this comrade, this fellow freedom fighter, a fighter of his people's right to be self-determined, had no business being in prison that long. But it's a victory because he did not die in prison. Because as I said before, as I was taught by Sundiata Acoli and many others were taught by Sundiata Acoli, that the state don't free political prisoners, the people do. So it was decades of organizing. From what I was given in the form of of an email, is that Leonard Peltier served over 49 years in prison. So for over 49 years in prison, his people continue to fight for their right to be self-determination, fight for his freedom. They did what was necessary in his spirit for their people, and for him to come home and continue to see his people there. Their spirit was very strong. There was a quote that I came across that I think it says everything about him. Leonard Peltier says, "Today I am free. They may have imprisoned me, but they never took my spirit." So I think that, that statement we should internalize. We should use that regardless of what our situation may be, that you might be down, you might feel a certain type of way, but you're not out. He wasn't broken. And he made me think about George Jackson, Field Marshal of the Black Panther Party, who said that they will not count me amongst the broken. And he would refuse to be broken. He understood his purpose. He understood that there was a crisis taking place. He identified the material reality, and he understood that he had to do something. He had to organize people. He had to raise people's consciousness and let them know what side that they needed to be on. So Leonard Peltier, his legacy was that of being a leader, accepting a leadership position amongst his people, the American the American Indian movement. That was the organization, and he was respected as their leadership or part of the leadership, and he knew what they had to do, faced with people who took their land, people who put genocide on their people. Because when you look at the inception of the United States, you know what they did to have what they have currently, right? They eliminate the indigenous population, and they enslaved African people, be brought here for the duration of their life so that it can build their empire. Leonard Peltier was a part of the remaining indigenous people, and he knew that they had to secure their community, their land. He's currently in North Dakota. That's where his people are. I remember when they were organizing and fighting to bring him home, they would do things in his spirit. I guess he recommended they do certain things. I know they was giving out toys at one point for the children. I thought that said a lot, because he still wants the children to enjoy their childhood. While he was incarcerated, and allowed him to be a part of their development, be a part of who they're going to be eventually at some point. So Leonard Peltier is home. Please find out a way where you can donate to his campaign or his people, because they're going to need resources to take better care of him, because while he was in prison all this time, he became ill, he became sick. So they have to deal with that. But, it's nothing like the love and care you get from your people to build you up internally, right? That internal strength is something that we have to pay close attention to, that we can't ignore. And that comes with love. That comes with being around your culture. Culture is a weapon. Culture empowers you. When you are connected again with your culture, right? You feel something inside you that builds you up. Your endurance is exemplified. And that's exactly what Leonard Peltier is going to experience. He is going to experience the love of his people. And that love is going to heal them. And they know the way of the land. They know the benefits of the land. And now they're able to use their skills to aid him, to make sure that he gets the best treatment that he possibly can. And I feel very inspired by Leonard Peltier being home, because just think about how many people came and left organizations, or his organization, or even the organizations that were fighting for his freedom, other political organizations that had strong campaigns to free U.S. held political prisoners. Just think that just think about how many people came and went, but yet it was the continuation of the work, the commitment to not stopping until he came home, that brought him home. Because just think about how close he was to not coming home. You have Biden, the president of the time, giving him a pardon to come home. Right, he's on house release. From my understanding, his situation is a whole lot better than it was. And but if Biden doesn't sign that, then Trump is not going to sign it. Just like when Biden signed the executive order to take Cuba off the terrorist list, Trump comes and revokes it. So who knows what was on the mind of Biden to do it that late in his term. But regardless of what is done, and we have to move on. We have to take victories where we can, and we have to be appreciative for those who were involved in the fight and those who stood the course of the fight, because it's not easy. It's not an easy fight to fight for the freedom of our political prisoners, but it is principle. It's principles, right? You're talking about wanting people to join the fight against oppression, to actually do something about police brutality, to be involved in that, because we know seriously that police brutality does not go away on its own. So we had somebody says, welcome back to minimum security. Now you are among family and friends, face to face, reach out and touch, right? It's nothing like hugging somebody. It's nothing like giving somebody a kiss on the cheek. It's nothing like that touch, that human touch, to take your mind to a whole nother level. And our comrade in the struggle for people's right to self-determination is finally able to experience that. Long overdue, but it's the continuous work that people were involved with that made that happen. So we should be inspired by that. We should continue to take this particular work and bring it to other political prisoners and be a part of this work to free political prisoners. That's why we have to share this information about what was done, how it was done, what can we learn from it, what mistakes were made, and why can't things happen a lot faster? What is it going to take to make things happen faster? Right? You have some political prisoners that haven't been in prison as nearly as long as Leonard Peltier, but their sentence is still longer than it should be, or it's still an unjust term. And the longer they are in prison, the less life that they have when they do come home. So we have to continue to fight. It has to be something that is taken very seriously. We have to pace ourselves, because pacing yourself is going to help you stand the test of time, right? Because that's what was at stake, the test of time, right? Because there's a number of things going to happen in your lives. Very inspiring and motivating. We can do more. Yes, we can do more, right? We can do more. So if you are committing 2 hours a month to political prisoners, then next month maybe do 4 hours. If you wrote one letter to one political prisoners, maybe next month challenge yourself to write 2 letters to 2 political prisoners. If you attended a program 1 month to organize for the freedom of U.S. held political prisoners, next month attend 2 meetings, right? Just challenge yourself to do a little bit more until you at the point where you are ready to take on leadership and start doing things on your own. Because if we all take the responsibility to do things wherever we're at, then our ability to bring our political prisoners home is going to catch on to other people. It's going to be contagious because people are going to say, oh, why is he talking about somebody who is in prison? Obviously he or she did something. Right, they did do something. They had the courage, they had the responsibility, they had the tenacity to actually stand up and fight for these people's self-determination. Because if you don't declare your right to self-determination, somebody's going to say, okay, you don't speak on behalf of yourself. We know what's best for you, and we're going to determine what your life would be. And that happened when our ancestors were enslaved. That happened with the indigenous population were going through their genocide, because enough of us weren't fighting back. Enough of us didn't do as much as we could. And that is not to you know, bash nobody or anything like that, but it's just to make an analysis of how things came to be. It's just to let you know that we have more fighting to do. This is 2025. The year barely came, and we're witnessing things going on politically that is very disturbing, right? So we have to ask ourselves, you know, do we unite with it or we disunite with it? And if we disunite it, what are we going to do? And that brings me to the point of political prisoners, right? The political prisoners understood their role in the community. They understood what it took, or what it takes rather, to change the current situation amongst their people. And they knew that they have to play a position. So at this time, please share, get all the people involved. If you're looking to do some work around political prisoners, information about the Northeast Political Prisoner Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition is available for those who are viewing from TikTok. That's www.northeastpoliticalprisonercoalition.wordpress.com. Please share that information. Donate what you can. We appreciate that. This work costs money. It costs time. So I'm thinking about when Leonard Peltier comes home to his people, what might be going on in his mind? How is he feeling? You know, you're celebrating your people with your people. They have a ceremony, they have a ritual, they have things that is their culture that they take very seriously, and they're presenting it to you. I can only imagine the excitement and the deep emotion that he's going through. And there was probably many times that he didn't think that that was going to be a reality, but now it is. And now for those of us who are witnessing that happen, we should be inspired to take this upon ourselves to do more work to free other political prisoners. Because if we don't do it, who will, right? Because people often speak about standing up for justice, but yet what are they doing as it relates to injustice, right? And this brings me to experience I had recently while I was talking to somebody of the Christian faith. And this person, I was in Harlem, and this person prayed with me. I prayed with them. And then I gave them information on Kamal Siddiqui. She said she didn't know who he was or is, and she's going to look into it. In her prayer, she mentioned his name. But then after the prayer, she wanted to invite me to her church. And I asked, can I speak about political prisoners? She said, well, it's about you coming and learning about God. You know, but then I said, but I'm still giving you my time. She said, well, it's about learning about God. And I said, okay, then I don't think I'm gonna be able to go, because we have to be serious about our time, right? I recently lost a brother I love dearly. You know, he fought strong and hard and for a great time. against a rare form of cancer. So I was deeply hurt by that, but I was inspired by his will to never give up, to never fall deep into that deep depression. But it made me ponder on time and how important time is. And I say that for me, if I'm going to go somewhere, I should be able to express what I'm about, what I'm into, what I'm fighting for, right? Just as much as you're fighting for to save, quote unquote, people's soul, I should be able to express my work in fighting to free U.S. held political prisoners. Those who, if we don't fight long enough and strong enough, will die in prison. And then that be a loss on to us, right? Because we didn't do enough work to free a political prisoner, and we didn't take our work as seriously as we should. So what does it mean for Leonard Peltier to be home? It means that political prisoners can come home, right? This is a people's victory. We've seen Russell Maroon Schultz, he came home. Sunday Ada Akoli, he came home. Jalil Abdul Mutakim, he came home. You had a number of political prisoners come home. Some live a lot longer than others when they come home, and that's very unfortunate. That some make their transition a short time after they come home, but it's the quality of fight that determines that, right? Because while they're incarcerated, they're fighting depression, they're fighting mental issues, they're fighting physical issues, they're trying to get the best quality of health. And that's why Veronda Bauer's story is very motivational, very inspiring, because it lets you know that while he was in prison, while he was diagnosed with cancer, he did what he had to do to get cured, to get better, to make sure that when he does get him home, he still have life left. He still is able to enjoy certain things that he know that he should be able to enjoy, like going to a walk in the park, like being able to go on a date with your significant other, being able to dance with your family, laugh with your family, being able to do those things and not feel like you're putting too much on yourself physically. We take those things for granted. That's why this work on political prisoners have to be online, right? We have to control our own media, but it also has to be in the street. And that was the importance and significance of Bedford Hills Correctional Facility visual this past Saturday when 25 strong, we were out there, we were chanting, we had a sign that actually had the name of those correctional officers that were involved in assaults on the prisoners. We called their names out. We were letting them know inside that we've identified them, and it gave them a feeling of strength, because that's what it boils down to. If you have your support of people on the outside, then you know how strong you really are. So if you're interested in helping this work of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, the number is 347-679-3936. Again, that's 347-679-3936. If you're an artist, we're looking for people who can do a mural or aid in the assistance of us developing a shirt for a fundraiser. If you know about grants, I'm interested in hearing from you to help me apply for grants that can help us do things for our people, like for our community, rather, like clean up our community, educate our community on the importance of recycling and composting. Call me at 347-679-3936. Let us get access to them grants. Let us be able to take care of our community in the spirit of political prisoners. Because if a person like Kamal Siddiqui was home, they would be taking care of their people, finding out what's going on in the community and how they could help, right? The elders need the best quality of food. The children need the best education. And those are concerns of our captured freedom fighters. How do our children get the best of education, right? These children are our future, and we have to secure our future. And how do we do that? We do it by asking, or do we do it by organizing, right? We obviously have to do it by organizing. And that's why political education is so important, because we are learning from the past. We learning from people like the Black Panther Party, members of the Black Panther Party who were involved in free breakfast program. You had medical clinics You had they was testing for lead poison, and we have to take on that responsibility. We have to show support. We have to do what's necessary. So what can we do to bring our political prisoners home? What role do you take? Right, there's work to be done. We all can participate. If you have an hour to give, we appreciate that. Of course, we want more. If you have $1 to give, please give it to us so we can do what's necessary. If you have more, of course, we appreciate that, because this work costs money, right? To have stickers around political prisoners, to have shirts around political prisoners, take money. We are willing to take some input for those who donate. Let us know what you would love to see us do, or what do you think we should do with your contribution. So you can cash at me at Sefu Sankofa, SEFU so I could donate to the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition on your behalf. That's SEFUSANKOFA. You catch me at Cash App, and I could donate that money to you. Or you can Zelle me at 347-679-3936. Again, that's 347-679-3936. Because it's more work to be done. We feeling inspired and motivated and charged up by Leonard Peltier coming home, right? Letting us know that this is a reality that can happen, but it's a reality that requires political education, right? We have to learn what was done when the Black Panther parties were organizing to free Huey P. Newton on some serious charges. What was done to free the founder of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, Sekou Odinga, by his defense committee? What was done for Jalil Abdul Muttaqin when he did over 50 years in prison and he finally came home? What were the organizing tools? I know that I took it upon myself to be at a demonstration that was conducted by the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, and I participated in that, and I designed a shirt for that address Jalil Abdul Muttaqin. I had a poster that had his name. I'm just giving you an example of what you can do. You know, you can organize community events in the name of political prisoners to raise awareness about them, to let your community know who they are, so that they're more aware of them and that they can play a role in bringing them home. If you design clothes, you know, design some clothes that has the name of political prisoners. I'm currently looking for somebody who knows how to do embroidery or knows how to operate an embroidery machine, because I have an embroidery machine. Unfortunately, after all this time of having it, I never really learned how to master using it. Sometimes I take on a bunch of tasks and I'm not able to do everything that I would like to do. And that's why I'm always calling for help, always calling for people who have advanced in those particular areas to aid me. Let's work together. Let's be each other's support, right? Not everybody likes to be the face of a particular idea. They're not comfortable with doing that. And I get it, and I understand that. But I can be the face of a particular task or a particular idea. And I could take that burden off of you if that's a concern of yours. So please contact us at 347-679-3936. Again, that's 347-679-3936. Get involved in the work to free U.S. held political prisoners. And you know, the brother Leonard Peltier, the comrade Leonard Peltier of the American Indigenous Movement, is going to need some financial support. So contact his people. Go to the website that Leonard Peltier has. Make sure that it's real. Make sure nobody is trying to use his name for their own personal reasons. And if you having trouble finding one that you think is credible, please contact my phone number, 347-679-3936, and I'll do my part in getting you the proper contact, the proper information, so that he receives the necessary funds that he needs to make his stay home as comfortable and as long as possible. So that being said, you know, we're going to sign off by saying, don't let political prisoners die in prison. right? Because if a political prisoner dies in prison, we all have to look at ourselves. How much work did we do to prevent that from happening? And how much work are we willing to do to prevent another political prisoner from dying in prison? So welcome home, Leonard Peltier. And y'all know the call. Free them all.
Here I am, after so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box, I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters,